Happy post-draft day, everybody. Last night, we get to witness the future of the league, and seeing many young players achieving their dream is truly inspiring. For the Golden State Warriors, there were rumors about trading the pick away, but eventually, we did make the selection. And with the 19th overall pick, the Warriors selected Brandin Podziemski Trayce from Santa Clara University. Just as we all thought the team is done for the night, they acquired one more draft pick. According to NBA insider Shams Charania, quote, "The Warriors are trading Patrick Baldwin Jr. to the Wizards as part of the Chris Paul Jordan Poole trade," sources said. And in return, the Warriors received the draft right off the 57th overall pick from the Wizards. And with that pick, the Warriors got Trayce Jackson Davis, forward from Indiana University. This to me is the steal of the draft, and we'll talk more about that later in this video. Now, the Golden State Warriors are obviously in a win now mode. In today's video, we'll be talking about how these rookies can contribute to the Warriors to contend for the championship. So without further ado, let's roll the intro. Yo, what's up guys, Jason's here, back with another video. If it's the first time watching, I mostly cover news and reports for the Golden State Warriors, but we also occasionally make content for every other team in the league. So if you want the latest basketball news and rumors in your feed, all you gotta do is to leave a like and subscribe so that you won't miss any of my future upload. Next week, I'll make a few videos deep diving into the players the Warriors drafted, so we'll have an exact understanding of who they are and what we expect out of them. In the meantime, let's get a more broad up picture and see how Podziemski and Jackson Davis can help the Warriors to win. Now, the approach I'm seeing from the Warriors is pretty straightforward. The team wants to win now, so both guys they drafted are players that can come into play right away. Let's start off with the first pick we made, Brandin Podziemski from Santa Clara University. Before Santa Clara, Podziemski played for Illinois, where he had a very minimal role. Across the 16 games they played, he averaged 1.4 points. And because of this lack of opportunity there, Podziemski transferred to Santa Clara University, where he started all 32 games and averaged 19.9 points, 8.8 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 1.8 steals per game, while shooting 43.8% behind the arc. To be honest, this is likely the most impressive improvement I've seen. From a nobody to someone that dominates the WCC, Podziemski made the leap. Now, it's also important to consider here that the competitive level is way higher in Big Ten than WCC, so that's the concern I have regarding whether he can fit into the NBA with just 1 year of good stats. Now, during the post-draft conference, Warriors GM Mike Donovan Jr. said that Podziemski is a lot higher on their big board. Specifically, he said that Podziemski is about 9 spots higher on their big board compared to when he selected. This raises concerns for me. The Warriors need forward and center. With Cam Whitmore and Chris Moore still there, I was quite disappointed that the Warriors didn't take one of those guys. Nonetheless, the result is already fixed, so let's take a look at what Podziemski can do for us. Now, what appeared to us first is his insane shooting. He shot 43.8% behind the arc this past season as a sophomore on 5.8 attempts per game. So he's a pretty high volume shooter, which is a good sign for us. The Warriors brought him in for a workout earlier, and I think the coaches definitely love his potential and see him as the Warriors player. Now, in order to play guard for the Warriors, the first qualification is shooting, so I'm glad this checks the box. And besides shooting, Podziemski is also a great rebounder. His 8.8 rebounds per game average is the best testament for that. We all know the Warriors heavily rely on their small ball lineup, so securing rebounds is also key for this team's success. Besides these physical skills, he is viewed as a hustler, and that's exactly what I want from him. This kind of energy is what the Warriors need after a down season. Now, Podziemski has the size for a combo guard, but he has to work on his drive to attack the paint. This past season, I saw a common phenomenon for the Warriors. When they start hitting bricks from behind the arc, the offense stops because nobody drives to the paint. So the team needs players that can drive in the paint to either score or cause the opposing team to foul. If we take a look at his scouting report here, it says, quote, "He's got an all-around game and played both ends. Shows great awareness on the defensive end. Is a glue guy type of player who makes those around him better and just knows how to play." This so far fits perfectly with the Warriors culture, and I'm excited to see what he will do in the Summer League. If he develops well, I'm hoping that he becomes the next Dante DiVincenzo for us, always going to shoot nicely from behind the arc while playing solid defense and rebound the ball at a high level. Moving on, let's talk about the second player the Warriors acquired, Trayce Jackson Davis from Indiana University. I'm honestly surprised that he falls this deep, and I think that treating PBJ for him is worth it, despite the fact that we literally just got him last year in the first round. Now, Jackson Davis is a senior coming out of Indiana and has a 6'9" height, so his size and the fact that he's NBA ready fit both with what the Warriors need right now. This past season, Trayce averaged 20.9 points, 10.8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.9 blocks per game. Taking a look at all the awards he had in college is even more impressive. All Big Ten first team, Big Ten all defense, consensus All-America first team, and so on. I'm honestly still shocked that a player in his caliber falls to the Warriors. A few reasons why I think this happened is because 1. He has no range behind the arc. In college, he never made a 3-point shot and barely took any. 2. He is already 23 years old, which is fairly old compared to other rookies. However, like I said, this is what the Warriors need. Now, Trayce is a very skilled big man with solid depth and decent mid-range and post-up game. If you ask me, it would be nice that he can shoot threes, but nonetheless, having a solid mid-range game will help the Warriors a lot because, truth be told, recently all the Warriors centers cannot shoot from anywhere. And unlike Brandin Podziemski, Trayce is amazing open court. He runs the floor nicely and oftentimes he outworks most opposing teams' big man. This is absolutely great for the Warriors because it means he will fit into the Warriors' fast-paced offense, unlike a Kevon Looney or JaMychal Green. Aside from that, it's mentioned multiple times in various scouting reports that Trayce is a good passer. Some scouts call him an offensive hub from the mid-post. Now, what does this remind you of? Draymond Green. We all know Draymond runs the floor hard, has some mid-range shooting from college, and is a good playmaker. I would love to see Trayce follow the footsteps of Draymond Green, and I think he has the potential to replace Draymond in the future. Aside from the defensive end, Trayce is a great defender. At 6'9", he is a great rim protector. This past season, he averaged nearly 3 blocks per game and has a total of 270 blocks across his 4 years at Indiana. His defensive instincts and physicality fits perfectly with what the Warriors need defensively. And to wrap it up, let's take a look at this report here from NBA Draft Room. Quote, "He is a ferocious and intense player who changes the game with his energy and effort. Although he doesn't fit the modern NBA, his intangibles and effort will help him land a road at the next level." Basically, this answers our previous questions on why he falls to the end of the draft. Just a quick note, his draft projection was late first and mid-second round. In terms of why he falls, it's mostly because scouts think he won't fit into the NBA nicely, especially considering he's 23 years of age. Room for development is even smaller. But honestly, I feel like he fits every single trade for Draymond Green and everything the Warriors want. Truth be told, I will consider this pick to be the star of the draft. Somehow, someway, I have more confidence in Trayce than Podziemski, but let's see what happens for both of them at Summer League and training camp, and I'm very excited to learn more about these two players along the way. Alright guys, that's all we got with today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How do you think the Warriors did last night in the draft? If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on social media with all the links in the description box down below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.